Zaricilla. This is great. Please take a long walk. Very nice. Next, I would really happy to welcome Jaden Page Ludilla, who plays Grace. She's ready to back down. Yes. Chi, the producer. Leanne Best, who plays Catherine. John Clark, the supervising sound designer and composer. Christopher Chow, the editor. Joelle Honeywell, the DOP. And Amy Addison, costume and production designer. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm going to start with some questions and then we'll leave time for the audience to ask some questions as well. Paris, we've got to start with you, always. Where did the spark of this idea first come from? Was it inspired by personal history a little bit?
Yes. No, it certainly was. I'll try and be as quick as I can because there's many people here. So, this came from a place of rage. If you haven't been able to tell by the title of the film, it was written during the height of the pandemic, when I was literally having an identity crisis about who I was, and realised that I'd basically spent 30 years of my life rejecting my own heritage and my culture just to be able to fit in to British society. That comes with an enormous amount of shame and pain, which was compounded by, a rise in open aggression towards East and Southeast Asians. It was also a year of great racial chaos, which was punctuated by a government, which we still have, by the way, who had a deeply toxic rhetoric towards immigrants, the very same immigrants who were supporting a beleaguered NHS during the pandemic. These were Filipino nurses and doctors who were dying on the front line while protecting people who in the British public. And it honestly, it inspired a incandescent rage in me that was so different and something that I just couldn't ignore, and it was so dangerous that I needed to be able to put it into a place.
It's art.
Exactly. And a safe place, which was on the page, and that was Raging Grace.
Wow, and I mentioned I love that you call this a coming of rage story, and maybe we'll talk about that. Before I start to talk to the other, just one more question for you for now, Paris, is, I love the tone of this film. I mean, it's tackling serious societal issues, it's a drama, it's a mother-daughter story, it goes into serious genre territory as well, which I love. How did you think about how much you could include? How many sort of different tones, almost different genres within one film?
I honestly feel like the blending of genres is something that is the most reflective of real life. Like, what happens in real life is often horrific. It is hilarious. It is, a comedy, it's a thriller at really specific times in our life. And I needed to show specifically a lived experience of undocumented immigrant workers. And unfortunately, so many immigrant experiences are horrific. So genre felt like a very natural direction for me to take. But as much as this film is about expressing rage, frustration, our trauma, it also needed to be about transgressing that to get to a place of joy
Mm.
and celebration of culture and who we are.
Yeah. And there's love in this.
And love.